Good afternoon, AimHiers. Welcome. Anyone who's here already, say hi. Get on the chat. I'm a little bit late, sorry. 30 seconds. I'm surprised Leonardo's not here telling me, hi, Hamiz. I'm surprised I'm not being checked up on. Because I do like people who help me keep my time management tight because I need it. Okay. I'm very excited today because I've already thank you. I'm glad that I'm never as late as our dear leader, Matt. If I'm not as late as him, then that means I'm doing something right. Okay, so I'm really excited because I've already had a great time today talking with Matt about continents and continental drift and the formation of Pangaea and just like some really solid geography, which is what everyone thinks geography is, right? But today, this little solo event that we've got going on right now is a bit of an exploration into Brexit and what it's going to do to the EU. So this might be an issue that actually you may not have had much kind of exposure to. You might even have kind of almost like let it fall off your radar if you are from the UK and you think, actually, this is something I haven't heard about in the news, obviously, with what's happening at the moment. Hello, TGV. Welcome. Nice cats. Let's put some brown cats in the chat. Nice brown EU. I don't know. I'm trying to relate everything to like the EU already, and it's not going to work. Nice French cats. Love those French cats. Bring them over to the UK. We'll have them here. So, where are you from, TGV, actually? Are you from done and dusted? Okay, Trip and Flair, this is not, Brexit is done and dusted, but what we're going to look at today is whether, let me go onto screen so we've got a bit of more clarity, possibly, and I've given you a little hint to what I'm going to be looking at with some Jamie Oliver excitement. You'll see. Brexit is done for the UK, but it's not done in terms of what impact it will have on the rest of the EU. So as you can see from our map, the UK is out. It's not included in any of these categories. Now, what I need to make a little bit clearer on here is what we mean by Schengen and EU. So the EU is our political union, and we'll talk a bit more about the definition of it today. And the Schengen Zone is what we mean by freedom of movement. And that means that anyone, without getting a visa, anyone from a European country who's part of the Schengen Zone has free movement and free trade. Okay, this is what Schengen means. I'm going to have to type maybe today. So even though Trip and Flair, even though yes, Brexit's done, there's lots of debate about whether this might mean that the European Union starts to disintegrate, i.e. starts to break apart. Because what countries might think is, oh, actually, we want to follow the UK's example. We want to have we want to be able to make our own trade deals. We want to be able to make our own laws. All of these things. I'm going to be typing today because, again, I need some like tuition from Matt on whether the pen. So we've got freedom of movement and free trade. Okay, this is the Schengen Zone. And so some countries are part of the Schengen Zone. Iceland, Norway, and Switzerland are part of this free trade and freedom of movement agreement. So visa-less movement. I'm going to put visa-less there as well. Visa-less. But they're not part of the political union of the EU. Okay, so that's the blue. It's not part of that union. Okay, so can anyone tell me? There's 27. Tripping Flair. Good. There has been separatist movements in the EU, and that's what we're going to talk about as part of our third part. But we can touch upon it today as well. But actually, with part one, what we're going to look at today is what is the EU, because before we can look at what if it's going to stop, if the EU will break up after Brexit, we need to know what it means, first of all, okay? Second part, we'll look at what Brexit is, and then we'll look at what the impact of it could be on the rest of the EU. But today, we're just looking, welcome Blaze, by the way, welcome Tiroa, great name. Welcome. We're talking about what the EU is today. This is our part one of Will Brexit end the EU? Blaze, I'm more optimistic than you. I think actually there's lots of reasons for countries to stay united as part of the EU, but we're going to get into it. So can anyone tell me some of these? I'm going to time us actually. This is my game to start us off, because I love this. Is like Sporkle. Has anyone played Sporkle? Where you have to name the countries. I love Sporkle. Hi, hello everyone, anyone who's joined. Just really briefly, we are going to be looking at part one today of our of 3 parts of lives on what Brexit will do to the EU. Today is all about what is the European Union. So tell me, in the space of a minute, we're going to start now. Give me some countries that are part of the EU. Go. I want to see how many you can name. There are 27. Let's go. We've already had 9 seconds. Okay, Norway is not actually part of the EU, but we're going to write it down anyway. I'm going to put N for Norway. We've got France. Yeah, let's go. We're already 20 seconds in. We've not got many. How many we've got? Poland. Here we go. Belgium, Italy, Spain. Yes. Mears, Zion, France, Finland. Yeah. Sweden. How many have we got? I need to be counting this on my hands. I'm not even going to draw it. Okay, here we go. We've got Norway, Poland, Sweden, France, Finland, Spain, Portugal, Italy, Belgium, Germany, Luxembourg. Good. We're on 11. We've got another 13 seconds to go. Greece. There's another one. Czech Republic. Lithuania. Good. We're doing really well. This is 14 out of 27. Let's have 5 more seconds. Let's go. Look at the chat. See what's already come up. Denmark. Thank you, Trip and Flair. Thank you. Croatia. Thank you. Okay, we're done. 16. That's not bad. 16 out of 27. Okay, as a group, as a unit, I reckon we can do better at the end. We're gonna do the same thing again at the end. Okay, because it's a fun game. Okay, stopping there. Thanks, Vib. People know their countries. Good geography. Okay, so we got 16 out of 27 at the start. Let's see how many we can get at the end. Fun game. Great game. Now, here we go. Oh no, Jamie Oliver's in the way of my... Let's move him out the way. Let's move my Snappy out the way. It's my new fun thing. Hopefully the Snappy's not getting in the way of anyone. Right. So, here we go. This is the definition of what the European Union is. It's an international organisation comprising, which means making up of, 27 European countries and governing common economic, social and security policies. What do we mean by policies? It's always like a word that comes up when governments talk about getting elected. What is a policy? If we're going to try and give a simple definition. Ideas, agreements, guidelines, absolutely. They're not laws. They are, in most parts, they are guidelines, absolutely. Okay. I like that. That's a nice way of thinking about it. So guidelines. To make this work, and that's a really unique thing. The formation of the EU as it is today, and it's this union of economic, social and security, all formed in 1993. So the EU was the initial economic union was in the 1970s, but actually 1993 is when we saw this this definition. Okay, so if we're going to make this work, and if in 1993 they came up with the Maastricht, I'm not going to say that right, the Maastricht Treaty, what is going to make this work? How are we going to keep these 27 countries functioning as one? Yeah, after the fall, Trip and Flair, absolutely. This is after the end of the Cold War, really relevant point here, because actually the countries that that joined after this point were really important in this formation. So after Cold War, great. Okay, now what's going to mean that these 27 countries collaborate and work together? What's going to make the EU tasty, i.e. what's going to make it work? What factors do we need to consider? Like, what things are going to make this union of countries work? Everyone needs to benefit. All countries need to benefit. Yeah, all countries need to feel like they benefit. That's a great idea, Miz. Thank you. Great. Money. Okay, what about the money? Plenty of money. Lots of money. Lots of money. Plenty. Lots. Security and defence for all. Yeah, good. Guaranteeing. Thank you, Trip and Flare. Guaranteeing. Am I going to spell guaranteeing right? I can't see it. Guaranteeing defence and security for each country. Absolutely. What else? What kind of resources? When you say pool resources, what kind of resources are we talking about, Trip and Flare? Any other ideas from people? Jump in. Don't be shy. There's no right or wrong answer. Absolutely no right or wrong answer. I just want to hear what you have to say. Ooh, sharing skills. So this is a really good, Mirs, thank you. Sharing of skills. This this relates to migration, right? So this relates to, wait, let me write this down because I've forgotten what I've written already. Sharing skills, workers. So workers can migrate because of this freedom of movement, and this is the Schengen Zone. And Trip and Flare, you've also reminded us of this you've also reminded us of the fact that we have free trade. So within the Schengen Zone, there are no tariffs on trade. And this is like a tax. We're going to get into this in a second. We're going to go back to it. I'm going to write down freedom, free trade, massive one. And we'll explain what it means in a second. Food, yeah, free trade. Land, now, Tirawara, I'm not even going to say it because I'll just offend you by pronouncing it wrong. Tirowa, when you say land, how could the EU help farmers in EU countries? Does anyone know? How could the EU help farmers? What about the farmers? Does anyone know? Being part of the EU, why do farmers benefit if they are an EU country? T. Okay, cool. I'll call you T. I like it. Give them sheep. Give them sheep. Give the people what they want. Give them sheep. They don't give them sheep. But they can trade the sheep more easily. You might... Okay, fine. We'll go for that, Miz. Sheep. Free trade of sheep. So you might have to get checks. If you were a sheep from New Zealand... And I've got some New Zealanders knocking about. Enzo Catherine's not here, though, sadly, because it's a little bit late for her. So if you were a sheep from New Zealand, you might have to pay duty on selling that sheep in a European country, okay? Duty is like a tax that you pay if you are trying to export to a European country. You get a sheep, and you get a sheep, yeah. Everyone gets sheep. That's what's good. I'll tell you what's good for bigger market. Yes, excellent. Trip and Flag got it already. Sorry, I wasn't looking at the chat. So farmers get a bigger market of people to sell to. This is a brilliant list. We're going to keep this list on the screen for a little bit longer so we can analyse it. So this is massive. Not only is it free trade to sell to other countries, it's actually the people, the population that are buying the goods, okay? So this is what brings us to, like, why would you even bother as a country? Why would you want to be part of the EU, okay? And yeah, Casey's just jumped in. on the chat. Thank you and welcome. The EU gives subsidies. Okay, this is like money, extra money given to farmers. Okay, and what this means is that the farmers can produce a crop, or it can be they can produce a livestock, so different meat. They can produce different crops, milk. And even though the cost of that might be really high, so the cost of the fertilizers, the cost of feeding the cows, the cost of maintaining the land, the EU wants to keep farmers in business and not give farmers from, say, other countries outside the EU a chance to sell wheat and milk to the EU. So what they do is they subsidize the production of milk, wheat, and meat. So subsidies are really good for farmers, and it means that industry doesn't stop because cheaper goods come from abroad. So the subsidies protects the goods from competing with cheaper goods from outside the EU. Okay. Casey, does that answer your question? That was quite a long answer. I can repeat anything. Does anyone have any questions about what I've just said? Subsidies. Can we check what is a subsidy? Can someone give us a little summary before I do of what a subsidy is? Does anyone know who this man is? I was wondering. Okay, Mirs, thank you. A subsidy is money from a government, so from the EU government, to make things cheaper. Absolutely. To make the production or to make the growing of a crop cheaper. Good. Good. Economic incentive. I like that. It's an economic incentive. Good. Okay, does anyone know who this guy is? Before I move on. Who is that man? Why have I included him in today's live? Why has he popped up? Sikto, you're right. It is Jamie. First name. Are you on first name terms, Sikto, with Jamie? Who's on first name terms with Jamie? Jamie's Italian. Internet of Hinges. Chef's World. Jamie Oliver is a chef from the UK who's basically, Sikto, Chef World. I thought you, as in, are you part of the chef world? I'm hoping that you are, because I would great respect for you if you are. Chefs work very hard. So why do you think? So Internet of Hings has got the hint. Why have I included Jamie in? Why would Jamie Oliver be sad about leaving the EU? Why is he sad about Brexit? Why is Jamie Oliver sad about Brexit? Yeah, Jamie's Italian did go under. He likes cooking Italian. He likes cooking European food, right? Jamie's Italian is no more. There is no more Jamie's Italian. It went into administration. Did not make any money. I think 'cause it was a little bit overpriced and not that great. Yeah. Okay. Sikto. Good. This is really good. That's exactly why I put it on. So the reason I included Jamie Oliver in this is because if we are going to get lovely cheese, I'm not even gonna make a list. It's gonna make me really sad. If we're gonna get delicious European cheeses, wines, meats, vegetables, all of the fruit, everything, oranges from Seville, all of this fresh produce is going to cost more once we leave the EU. So this is what the free trade agreement, the Schengen Zone, is good for, right? Is that we get these amazing goods from all over the EU, okay? And yeah, chefs do have pride, Sikto, you're right, in using local produce. And it's great, like using seasonal produce if in the UK is really brilliant. Actually, lots of supermarkets encourage it by putting the little flag on the food. But if you want a tomato outside of, the growing season in the UK, which is quite short, then you got to go to Italy. You got to go to Spain, right? So let's see if they hopefully we'll still be able to buy oranges. They won't be cost about £2 once we leave the EU, which I'm I'll be really sad about. Okay, we have 10 minutes left. Perfect. Oh, it's great. It's going so well. Timing for once. I'm getting the hang of. Okay. What do all of these countries have in common? Turkey, Montenegro, Macedonia, Serbia. I hope you've heard of some of these countries. We'll have to go and place them on the map in a second. Albania. What do they all have in common? Oh, instead of hinge, straight in there. Trip and flare, not partial. It is, they are applying to join the EU. You're absolutely right. So they are applying for EU membership. Why do you think they haven't been given EU membership before? Why do you think they haven't been included before? Because Turkey's a very big country. It's got, a lot of potential for tourism, for probably trade, for manufacturing, for trade in manufactured goods. Montenegro, also beautiful country, used to be part of the Soviet Union, but again, lots of potential. I agree with some policies first. Yeah, what policies do you think they don't match? So let's go back to that definition. So to be part of the EU, you have to agree on being part of the freedom of movement, being part of the Schengen Zone and free trade. You have to agree on human rights. So you have to sign up to the EU Convention on Human Rights. So you have to agree to treat your citizens the same as that. So respecting their human rights, respecting the rule of law. And you have to agree to share intelligence as an EU community for common security. Right, instead of Hinge, you got it absolutely right. Turkey, huge issues with human rights. You're absolutely right. Okay, so Turkey, human rights abuses for refugees, and also on Kurdish people. So Kurdish people identify as a separate kind of, a slightly different part of Islam, but they don't have a homeland, and Turkey has treated them very, very poorly as a result. A bit like the traveller community in the UK. They've not been given the same rights as people from Turkey. What about Montenegro, Macedonia, Serbia, Albania? Think about the economic union of the UK. We've missed one really key thing that means you are part of the EU and that you sign up to. Does anyone know what it is? Think about the fact, I'll give you a clue, these countries have quite a low GDP. Why would this mean that they can't be part of the EU? If their GDP, so the amount of goods and services, so the amount of money that the country has. Does anyone know why? I'll give you some time to think, because it's quite a big question. Right, they can't contribute enough, so they might not pay taxes to the EU. Here we go, Internet Hinge has got it. They will devalue, this is massive, they will devalue the euro. Now, devalue the euro. So the euro is our common currency, the single currency that was formed in 1993 to make this a fully economic union, okay? And to essentially make it easier for European countries to make trade deals with other countries, okay? Easier to make trade deals with countries outside the EU. Now, the euro is huge, because we've never seen this kind of this single currency in the world before. It's never been agreed between 27 countries. Now, not all the countries in the EU have the euro. That the UK doesn't, of course. So Lags asked if I'm a political scientist. No, I'm not. I wish I was, because that sounds really cool. No, I just did a lot of geopolitics, like political geography at university, and I just find it really interesting as well. A lot of it's just from reading the news. So that's you don't have to have a degree to be able to be interested in it. But it is funny that it's part of geography. This is very much a geography question, even though it seems like it might not be. Okay, so this single currency is a massive part of why countries want to join the EU, because they want to have trade deals with other countries, they want to sell their goods to countries outside the EU, and they want to make sure that they get the benefits of being part of this single currency. So it means that the value of their goods and services, so the value of, say, milk that they're selling, or that's not a good example, if they're selling clothes to a country outside the EU, the value of those clothes increase because the currency they're selling in is stronger. So the EU, the euro, apart from, we'll talk about why the euro maybe isn't the strongest currency in another live, but it is a stronger currency than, say, the currencies that, is it lira that they have in Turkey? Does anyone know? I think it's lira, but it's going to be stronger than the one that they had originally. Okay, as an individual country, and this is all because the market they're selling to is bigger. Okay, so Lags. I studied geography, just BA in geography, Bachelor of Arts. Now we have 3 minutes left, which is perfect. And Internet Hings, thank you. You are. They couldn't. These countries, Turkey, Montenegro, Macedonia, Serbia, Albania, for the EU to let them join without with keeping their own currency, they'd have to have a stronger economy. So the UK negotiated to keep the sterling because they had a bigger economy, a bigger market of people to sell to as well. Okay, so that's why, and it would still, even if they joined, they would still devalue the euro anyway. You're right, even if they didn't keep the currency. Good question and good statement. Okay, so let's have a look at our final summary. What are some of the good things about being part of the EU? So the EU is this economic, social, and security union of countries. What are some of the good things that countries get from being part of the EU? Let's have a mind shower of ideas based on what we've just looked at. Okay, what do we think? Good things. Good. I'll give you some clues. I'm gonna give you a few little clues. Right, we said friendship between countries, Miz. Thanks. Friendship and cooperation between countries. Yeah, absolutely. This is massive. So it means that when it comes to, it's actually going to stop war. It's more likely to stop conflicts from happening. Okay. What else have we got? Sharing scientific work. Yeah, that's a massive one. Okay, sharing of scientific research and university funding. A lot of funding for university research projects comes from the EU itself. So funding for education and healthcare. With the poorer countries in the EU, this can be the case. So the countries that used to be part of the Soviet Union in Eastern Europe that are slightly poorer, these countries would get more help with infrastructure projects. Okay. Ooh, I can't see it. I'm second guessing myself as to whether I've typed it. Infrastructure projects. Okay. Right. So, can't believe we're leaving. Yeah, Internet of Hinge, you're so right. Internet just says it. We can't believe we're leaving. This sucks so much. You are right, but I hope that what we can do. Maybe I'll do a fourth part where it's like, how will the UK recover from Brexit? Have some hope that there are some rays of sunshine, but we just need to single currency. We need to find them. We need to talk about them because there will be. So single currency, stronger currency. Now this actually relates to a bad thing. This means that the single currency can also be bad because if a country goes into recession. So if, like, for example, Greece, did anyone know that you might not have knowledge of this? So we'll talk about this not next week, but the week after when we do part 2. So the Eurozone crisis, the Eurozone crisis was because of the fact that Greece wasn't collecting taxes, okay? And what this meant is that they were getting a lot of money in subsidies from the EU, but they weren't contributing. They weren't able to pay back the loans, from EU. And this was a massive issue for Greece. So this can mean that actually there are issues with this single currency. There's a big problem. So big market, free trade. We've got some more good stuff. Big market, free trade. Any other good things or bad things you can think of? They get friendship, monies, scientific work. Any other good things? Any other bad things? What about human rights? The good things, the EU Convention on Human Rights, massive. Human rights. Okay, we're going to do now, hopefully, this gives you more of an idea of what the EU is. Okay, these 27 countries, I'm going to go back up to our definition that we looked at already. Okay, governing common economic, social, and security policy. So it's going to stop conflict. It's going to stop war within the EU. It's going to protect EU countries using common security and intelligence. We've got human rights laws. We've got the EU Court of Justice holding up these human rights laws, and we've got the economic union, the single currency. And environmental laws. Internet of Hinge, you're getting like the gold star today for coming in with the most like great last minute contributions. So in environmental laws, a lot of environmental laws we have are from the EU. So protecting the UK from high levels of deforestation, of ground being polluted by companies when they're manufacturing, all of these things. So environmental laws are massive for the EU. Okay, so we've got some people chatting about where they're from. Love that. This is like very relevant to the EU. Can we name more countries than we did at the start of the live? 27 countries. We've got 16 out of 27 at the start. I think we can do better than that. So we're going to do one more minute to finish us off. One big last hurrah. Okay. How many can we name? Let me get my, and we're going to do the end. What was the end one? And I'm going to tally them more effectively this time as well. Okay. So final go. How many can we name? Is everyone ready? Tell me if you're ready. We haven't got loads of people on the chat, but we can do this. I want to get more than 16. Oh, from Bulgaria, Internet of Hinge. No way. Great. Okay, Mills is ready. Right. 1 minute on the clock. Go. As many EU countries. Let's go, Trip and Flair. I'm going to tally them. Okay. Over Macedonia, people. Lags from Macedonia. Great. Belgium, France. Okay, I'm still counting. 1, 2, 3. Italy. Great. 4. Portugal. Spain. Belgium. We already have Belgium. Sweden. Denmark. Netherlands. Finland. Estonia. Lithuania. Latvia. Slovakia. Yes. Affectionate. Hello, Affectionate, by the way. Nice to see you. Ireland. Austria. Yeah. Oh, wow, we're doing so well. America. Ha, 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 ha. You're missing one beginning with I that you remembered at the start, in the first one. You got 10 more seconds. Greece. Yeah, got it. 10 more seconds. 5 more seconds. 3, 2. Yeah, no, not Northern Ireland's part of the UK. No, miss. No. Iceland doesn't count because it's only part of the Schengen Zone. God bless Scotland, lag. Beautiful Celtic countries. You're absolutely right. Ireland, right, we're done. Estonia, Casey, I'm going to count you on that. That was 20 out of 27. Not bad. If you want to play that game, again, there is this great website called Sporkle. Absolutely love it. Great for your knowledge of where countries are, because then you can actually place them. It places them on the country. You always mess up your islands. I mean, the Good Friday Agreement's there for a reason, Miz. Okay, right. This has been really fun. And for such a kind of like dense topic, I feel like we've covered it in a really clear and light and hopefully interesting way. Okay, so thank you so much, Internet of Hinge. We've got Internet of Hinge from Macedonia. I really hope that Macedonia gets to join the EU. You deserve it, okay? If it's only if Internet of Hinge is an example of highly educated Macedonian people who we should be who should be migrating across the EU and coming to our universities, please let's get Macedonia into the EU, please. Great Internet of Hinge, thanks so much. Okay, Trip and Flair, thank you so much. Casey, thank you for your final contributions. Affectionate welcome. Hello. Lag. We've had, who else have we had? Thank you so much for being here. Sick Toe, thank you very much. Great chat. Join me tomorrow. Thanks, Mears, of course. And T-Ro Wawa. Got it right this time. Okay. Thank you so much. It's been really great. And glad that we've had so many European countries on the chat as well. I feel like this has been a brilliant mix. A reason why the EU will not end is case in point, is because you guys are watching and you want to be part of this together and sharing ideas together. Great, I'm really pleased. Glad that you found it fun. So glad that you made it to the 6 p.m. slot. And join me tomorrow for some, we're going to do a really interesting, maybe first parter, maybe individual one. I'm going to see how it goes, on whether culture still exists, like whether culture will be relevant in 50 years time. So we're going to talk about something called cultural erosion, which is a really interesting kind of human geography, social geography topic. Okay, so join me if you're into globalization. Join me for that, because I already did a globalization one about containerization. This will touch upon some similar themes to that. Okay, have I kept to time? No. For once. But thanks so much. I'm going to sign off. Take care, everyone. Be safe, and see you tomorrow.